With your permission, yes, thank you. So, going straight to our curriculum, and here is the point we stopped in the last class. So, just by way of a reminder, once again, this is the curriculum we are following, and we have it already laid out. We are on the fourth module, and after module four, we're progressing to five, where we'll have moved beyond Excel. So we started with Excel because it's more like the foundational tool for data analysis. And after this session, maybe one more session, then we should have finished uh, all the basic things about Excel plus the advanced functions and formulas up to the use of pivot tables. Then we'll be able to move straight to uh, the use of some statistics, even though it's still in Excel, but we move into statistics calculations. Then we take on SQL and some other databases, programming language, and data analytics tools. So that is the progression. Then after that, for module six, seven is talking about advanced level of the SQL, which is structured query language. Then moving up to the use of some visualization tool. And this, in this context, we'll be using Tableau. So that is how the progression we follow the curriculum we already laid down at the beginning, and it's been over 9, 10 sessions now that we've been following this curriculum after a few projects that we did. And all together, this is the 19th session for the Discovery for People Managers series and initiative, which is underpinned by the workforce analytics adoption uh, framework, which is a model recently brought up to help as many as possible to internalize and sharpen their data skills and be able to use it anywhere they find themselves, especially in their respective workplaces. And that is exactly how organizations can even help to embed data skills into the culture of the organization in such a way that as many employees as possible are equally taking advantage of that. So, without much ado, we go straight to the session. And where did we leave up in the last class? Yeah. Okay, we stopped at, yeah, we did this taking on table, featuring, sorting, and we've concluded that one in the last session. I think we also started, continue up to this, still formatting and adjusting data so we can continue from this point. Now, in converting data in Excel, many a times the way some data will come, you will see the formatting in some columns, and from assessment, you can deduce that the way this column is formatted may not adequately help analysis by the time the entire data set is subjected to analysis. So you may necessarily have to further work on those columns, just like we've been doing, because this process is still more like we are cleaning, we are preparing, we are figuring out as many things as possible about our data to be sure that there is nothing falling short of the expected standard or anything that could affect proper analysis when the analysis begins in earnest. So, one of it is to figure out if a particular column needs some conversion. In a sense, and this applies more to cells, I mean columns that contain text, not even numbers or digits. For instance, most of the time, texts are expected to be formatted in lowercase, or a particular column may necessarily be expected to be formatted in lowercase. Maybe not because of the demand or the requirements of the analysis that is to follow. It may be because that data set is necessarily going to be uploaded into another database whose formatting style is actually a lowercase, and probably this particular column in this data set you are working on is not in a lowercase, and you want to move it from uh, the current case that it is to a lowercase because you know that is um, the formatting style expected of where the entire data set is going to be moved into afterwards. So it is necessary to look into something like that and also find a way of adjusting and converting it. And that's what this converting data in Excel we also achieve for us. So we can just pick maybe the same data we work on last class. We can see how we could convert a couple of things. For instance, let's say I have this column, which is column L, and it's written this way. And I want to make sure I convert it to a lowercase all through. Here, it is in proper case because the first letter of the first word is capitalized, and the first letter of the second word after the space is equally capitalized. So which shows in a way that it is in proper case. So there are three distinct cases in Excel: the proper, the uppercase, and the lowercase. So you can move it around any of those ones as you wish. So for instance, if I intend to change this column to uh, a lowercase, I create an empty column in between quickly. So that can be done. We've done how to create columns so many times, so we can figure that out. But let me undo and see. If I want to create a column to the left of hem, I can select hem and just press Ctrl Shift plus, it will create that column. If I undo, if I want to create an empty column to the right of M, I will come to that right of M, which is the next column and N. I will select that by clicking on that column letter and do Ctrl Shift plus 2, that creates it. But I want it to be to the left of hem now because what I want to correct is in hell. So I select column M, Ctrl Shift plus, create that for me. Then I come here, I want to correct this proper case in hell into a lower case. So I just quickly do that and just put lower. Then I open my bracket, pick this L2, close the bracket, press enter. Then you can click on it this way as we have done before, flash fill down to make it go down the way it is at the moment. So I want to move it to L where it should be. So I can copy the entire column again, Control Shift, arrow down, copies that. Then I can do Control C to copy. Then I come back to this place and do Control Shift arrow down to select that entire row equally. Then I right click and pick paste value to paste the entire value in hem to hell. Why did I do that? The reason is because the formula is what hem is containing. I don't want formula to be there. I just want the exact value. So that's why I have to copy it and now paste it as value to where it should be. Then I can do away with column L, M, and that's gone, and have achieved what I want to achieve for column L, making all the entries in each of the cell throughout the entire column to be in lowercase. So you could do your formatting as much as possible. We also did something similar in the last session by showing to us, okay, I could make this entry in column even though it is by default formatting to the left, which is true for all text in Excel. It is numbers and digits in Excel that are right formatted by default. Letters are left formatted by default in Excel, but you can move it around depending on what style you want, being the person working on it or being the one in charge of the use. So you can just go ahead and do that. And for L, I can choose to say I want it to be in the middle, which is it has just shown now, and I want to move it up a bit. There is a vertical middle and there is horizontal middle, and I've also done that too, so it's in between in the middle now. Or I can decide to move it down to the left as it is just moving. Let me highlight a bit so that you can probably see how the movement is. So can you see? Place it there, or I move it a bit down here, or I move it outrightly to the right as if it is number. So you can do whatever you need to do about it depending on the preference of the person in charge. So one other thing we also did was to be able to split a column that contains more than one entries, that contain more than one feature of the data set. When analysis begins, the search, I mean, the analytical engine behind the whole operation may not be able to separate into different pieces all those things contained in that single column. So it is very important to separate those three things or two things merge into one column. We should separate them into their respective columns so that it can be easy for the tool to pick them and use them in analysis when the time comes, or if the person analyzing actually requires that. So we use text. Yes, we use text to column formatting, and we're able to do all the breaking. So in this case now, these guys were together in one column before. For instance, in column M, which is product description, we have this product description, which is in various format. Now we have mountain 200, it could be mountain 400 W, and what have you. But together with that, the system or the person doing the data entry probably just added the product color still under data, I mean, under product description, and just added it to it. So we had this color column initially merged into this product description. And not only that, we equally also had the size of the product equally merged into it. Sometimes you may need to combine two features or two attributes together in one column. It is at the discretion of the person analyzing if the person is quite sure that it will not skew or affect the ability of the application to analyze, and you just want to run the two together, good. But generally, by rule of thumb, is just separate each of the attribute or feature in their respective columns for ease of analysis. And if you so need later on that you want to combine them, then you can equally combine it. So we split all the three. They were in one column before. We split it into three. Now I want to show us how we can combine them back together if we so wish. If I so desire that, okay, I want to combine this M, N, and O into a single column again to see. So let's just do this. Yep. So if I want to do that, I can just say equal to M2 and so M2 and this guy, this guy, this guy. What now? N2. Then I can also say, yep, and N2. So then I can equally say and this guy, this guy, this guy, and again O2. So I have picked the three now, and I want the system to bring them together. Can you see the entries in M2, which is mountain 200, mountain hyphen 200? Here is it. I have used a delimiter in that formula that I wrote, and the delimiter was a comma. This is the delimiter. And I asked it to go ahead and pull in the next column, which is N, that contains color. And it picks it. In this case, the color here is black. It has brought it here, black. Then I go ahead to say, okay, do not only just add M and N, equally include O. Then it goes ahead to also include O. So all the entries in M, N, and O are now combined together in one column, P. And that is how we could combine columns together and merge them together. And I can further go ahead to change the delimiter or what is separating one column from another right inside the formula. Initially, I use comma, right? So I can come here and say, okay, instead of using comma to separate the product name and the product color, then go ahead and just use hyphen for me to separate it, and I press enter, it will change it straight away. So between the product name, Mountain 200, and the product color, black, I have changed it to what now? To hyphen to separate it. And I can use anything I want to do that now. And that is the beauty of Excel. If you have gotten what you need to do correctly in just a single row, or in just a single cell or a single column, you can replicate endlessly. So no matter how many rows I have in this data sheet now, what I have achieved in just this single row or in just this single cell in a very, very short time at the speed of light, it can be replicated in millions. I only need to just flash fill, and it will automatically flash fill everything down, no matter how many there are, even if the rows are 1 million rows on this Excel sheet. All I need to do is just to flash fill by clicking this right edge, lower edge column here on the rectangle that is showing the active cell. I double click it, then it will flash fill it down automatically for the entire column. And that's what I have. Can you see? So everything is written down like that. So if I want to do away with these three columns now, M, N, and O, I can do away with it. So I will just pick M, N, and O and do control minus to bring it out. But okay, something happened there because the last one I did was querying or referencing those column I deleted. That's why it turned it to this. So if I undo, it brings them back this way. So all I need to do is probably to now create another column, then is to create another column. Then I can now pick this guy, everything in here, Control Shift arrow down. I can copy it. Then I will now come back here to this empty column right here. I will now paste as value down. So after pasting as value now, so even if I now remove these three columns, 1, 2, 3, it will not affect anything again. So I can now remove those three columns. If I remove M, N, O, products, color, and size now, it will not affect anything that is here. Even if it will affect Q, it won't affect P. And P is what I need because P um, is already a value. So if I remove those ones, so only this one is affected, and I can equally delete this one, but I still have what I need, which is the combination of the previous three: the product name itself, the product color, and the product size. So you can always move around columns and text, and rows in this way in Excel. You want to combine a few columns together to be in one, or you want to split depending on what the analyst has deemed fit is necessary in that particular case for the upcoming analysis. So you can move columns around and you can do all sort of things. So all I need to do is to now go ahead and name this column as product description, if I so wish, or any other name I want to call it. So that's what we can do around converting data all in Excel and under formatting and adjusting. So another thing is conditional formatting. We also did something similar to this in the last session, but we could pick a few other things. So for conditional formatting, we could figure out quite a number of things we want to do. And let me quickly see. Do we use this data set? Okay, we can use this one. So I can say, go to the beginning, to the right, pick it this way. It has header. So I have discovered that sometimes when you are doing conditional formatting to columns that already have currency indicators, you may need to, yep, that is selected. You may need to remove the currency indicator, apply your conditional formatting, then you can now apply the currency again, because the currency sort of block the formula from operating. So if I want to remove the currency, I can just do this Control H to find where all the currency here is included. I have dollar here. So go ahead and find that for me, match the case, find all of them. Let me see what you can get. Okay. After doing that, okay, you can replace all of them with nothing. You can see here what I provided as substitute uh for picking up dollar sign is that you should not put anything right there. So it has found 440 of them. Then I can go ahead and say, okay, replace all of them. Then to do that straight away, as you have seen, it has replaced all of them with nothing. So all the currency notes has been removed. So I can do some operation on any of them as I want. I can, for instance, come here and say, okay, Control Shift arrow down for this column. I can walk around, say, I want to select some on this particular column. Just find for me, okay, give me some data bars. I want some visualization, or I can say I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and see top and bottom rows. Then give me the top 10 on this column. I pick top 10 and I can decide what color I want it to use to identify those top 10 for me on that column. You may not appreciate what importance this conditional formatting is given until you are faced with a very heavy data set where you cannot practically use your eyes to glance through and figure out, okay, which are the first 5 or first 10. If you are still able to do that manually with your eyes, it means you are dealing with just a very small data set, probably running between 20 and 30. But more often than not, you have data set that are in thousands and some can even run into millions. You cannot try it with your eyes. Even with smaller one, you're not even expected to try with your eyes because humanly speaking, uh, there are conditions that can make you commit error in doing that manually with your head, and that will affect the whole analysis. So it's better to just use what is accurate and almost not going to make any error, which is computer. So in this case, you are expected to identify what color you want the conditional formatting to pick. By default, it has already suggested this light red field, which I can pick, and I can just say okay, and that shows to me that these are the top 10 right on this column. And you can use this simple skill to see any set of, any data sets being sent to you for you to figure out without doing so much. You can just pick these 2 3 clicks and you start making sense of what the data is saying. Okay, who are the first 10? Oh, this is the first 10. Wow. What is the person's name? Oh, okay. What else can I do here? You can just very simple things around, and you're already getting more information from the data by just clicking around those few things that will drill down into the whole thing. So you can use conditional formatting for as many things as possible. So I can equally say, okay, instead of this, I can undo that and go ahead and pick, let's say this. Let me see all of them in unison. Then I do Control Shift arrow down to select all of these. All I want you to do for me is give me some sense of chart. Let me see how this thing looks. Okay. I can just at a glance see what's going on here. Okay. Or I can see which of them is having the highest number, the one having lower number, the one having a middle number, and what have you, and just figure out how it's all going to work that way. So those are simple things we can carry out using conditional formatting. And apart from this, okay, I've removed the currency already. So apart from this, we can equally check what sort of manipulations we can do around the data being presented to us. So I've already done combining data and have equally worked on conditional formatting. So the next one I want to pick is, can I do conditional formatting with some numeric values? And in those numeric values, I can vary different things, more than one, more than two, even right on the same column. Let me see that. So I can just come here. Say for instance, I can pick, let me pick revenue column this time around. I have removed the currency notation. Then I can do this Control Shift arrow down to select that. Then I can come to conditional formatting. I can pick highlight cells rule, and I can say, okay, go ahead and give me cells in this column I have highlighted that falls between, say, 5,000 and 10, yep, and 10,000, so to speak. So I expect it to go ahead and look for those cells containing figures between 5,000 and 10,000. So I can check to see if the selection was correct, and that is it. I do not expect to see any cell that is less than 5,000 to be highlighted, because I have given instruction in that conditional formatting that, okay, only highlight for me conditionally or cells that meet this condition. What is the condition? The condition is that the value must be between 5,000 and 10,000, and here is it. So still on this same column and conditional formatting, I can equally say, um, go ahead on the same thing, highlight cell rule. This time around, can you look for cells that are greater than 10,000? Then I put it 10,000 this way. So I need to change the indicator. The indicator used before was a deep light color. I mean deep red color. Then I can now use another color to differentiate. Since I've used red before, I can go ahead to use green for 10,000. So the other light red color was for between 5,000 and 10,000. So this one is for something greater than 10,000. I say, okay. So I expect it to check through for me and select cells that have their figures or their entries uh, greater than 10,000, and if you color it green. So even though I'm not seeing the figure here now because the width of the column is smaller than the entry, because it has already been shaded in green, I know that those are the cells containing what I needed. So all I need to do is just to extend this a bit to see the value. You can see this is 13,500 greater than 10,000, and this is also 13,500 also greater than 10,000. So this appears to be the ones greater than 10,000 and they are highlighted this way. Now, still right in this column, I can equally still say, okay, which other conditional formatting can I apply? I can come here, also pick these, come down, then we've done between 5,000 and 10,000. Okay, we've done above 10,000. Okay, let's do below now. Okay, so we have done greater than, we have done between, then let's do less than. So we can pick less than 5,000. 2, 3. Yeah, for less than 5,000, you need to choose your color indicator this time around. So we've used red, we've used green. What else can we use? We can use yellow. Good. Then you can say, okay, so we have the ones that are less than 5,000. I have given the condition. The condition is that you should, the condition is that anyone you are going to paint in yellow, there must be entries or values that are less than 5,000. Anyone you are going to paint in red, they must be between 5,000 and 10,000. Anyone you are going to paint green must be above or greater than 10,000. So, and that's exactly what has been done on this column. So the conditional formatting has been applied, which makes it easy for accessibility and also identification during analysis. So still right here, I can choose to say, okay, take this entire table now. You can take this entire table now. I want to sort it so that I can have a better feel of this conditional formatting. So I can do A, Control T. Yes, my table should have header, correct. Then I have this in full table as against the CSV file format it was before. Now I have the sorting tools already uh, imputed. They're both sorting and filtering at the same time. So I can say, okay, filter this column for me. And while you are filtering, okay, don't filter. I can say sort it from smallest to largest. I will just pick this guy up here and it will sort it. So you can see by sorting the column, automatically it has also sorted other columns in the table. So we now have from smallest to largest, so meaning that smallest number down to the largest number. So in this case, the smallest is 540, then it will go to the largest, which is going to be over 10,000, and that is the 213.5 that we had before, which were greater than 10,000, which is fine. So I can equally say, okay, sort it in such a way that it is from largest to smallest, then it will. So as you are sorting on that column, the column is automatically sorting every other column because they must follow that instruction. So wherever this 13,500, if it is to come up, everything on the roll for that 13,500 will follow it automatically. And that's the beauty of sorting and filling as it is here. So we can move around conditional formatting this way and do as many things as possible. I don't know if anybody has any question. Question? Hello? Sorry, are you saying
Yeah,
something?
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I think you changed the table was changed. The Excel was changed to blue using table, right?
Yes, it was every data set you've got initially. Do you mind if I should go back, right? Should I?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Good. So, I can just go back easily by just undoing all I've done
Undo.
before. So, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. You can see it's taking me back to, it's tracing back all the steps I've taken. Control Z again, it's taking it back. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So, I want to explain something here. I also
And then can I
discover,
quickly say something first?
yes,
Maybe.
please.
And so when you were merging that table, so like the first one you did, you were merging the tables, like you merged like three things together: product
Yep,
name, color, size.
yep,
Yes, the first one you did was bringing comma, comma.
yep.
So, but all those, how do you remember all those things? Then the second one you did, it brought out hyphen and comma. I did not see the instruction you gave to Excel on that part. But how do you remember all those kind of stuffs? Is it that merely you start typing, it shows it for you to remember, or you just need to remember them?
So, yeah, very, very good question. Thank you for that, Kwame. That's fantastic question. Um, Excel is a programming language. Just know that and settle it somewhere in your mind. And when you are using Excel, you are indirectly working as a programmer. That's what most people don't know. But they have designed Excel, Microsoft designed Excel such that even a lay person can quickly familiarize with it because they made everything simple and push those programming and coding into what we call GUI, graphical user interface, such that you are just pressing button. But those buttons you are pressing, right behind them are codes. So each button you press is actually running some codes. So what happened is that there is something we call automatic prompting in Excel. The moment you start, was this, let me see the one I was using then so that I can go back to it and do that stuff again. Was this the file or this one? Product size. Okay, let me enlarge it a bit. I'll get which of the file now. So maybe the second one. So I come here. Yep, this is the one I was working on. Yep. So I can just enlarge it a bit too. So this was the particular column we're dealing with. And it was all these three guys were the one you are talking about. They were separated into three columns before. And
Yes.
I merged all of them back into this. Meanwhile, don't forget, they were originally this way before we separated them into three because we felt okay. I wanted to show us that sometimes when an analyst is working, you will see that okay, or you could have foreseen that um, keeping this attribute, two attributes in one column will not help his analysis. So you will just choose to separate it. But for advanced analysts, they can figure out whether keeping them together will affect analysis or not, and they can choose to leave them the way they are or split. But as we are just learning and coming up, it's good to know how to separate and combine so that as time goes on, as we are getting more advanced, we can figure out, do I want to keep it merged as two or three, or I want to go ahead to split into their respective columns. So knowing the skills is the best so that whenever you need to either split or combine, you are at liberty to do so. So to your question, what Excel does is this. Let me just open this new column out. The moment you click equal to sign in Excel, you have activated some code threshold. So Excel is waiting for you to give the next command. So for to begin with, the moment you know what formula you want to write, there are some formula that are default. For instance, if I say I want to do average, the moment I write have AV, Excel auto suggests formulas that are in this fashion. and I can quickly check and pick. But for some, it may not immediately auto suggest it, because what I did that one was not more of, it's not a function, it was a formula. When you are calling a function, Excel give you auto suggestion immediately. For instance, this average is a function, and that's why it's giving me suggestion. But the one I did earlier, if I say B1, can you see B1 plus B2? It won't give me anything as suggestion. But when I was now going to the other side to tell us, okay, I want you to go to M2, and when you get to M2, pick something else, it's not giving me any auto suggestion, because when I write M2, it is not a formula. I mean, it is not a function. Excel does not see it as function. It does not give auto suggestion. So you are the one that will know it by heart. It's a formula you will know by heart. There are some mathematical formulas that Excel also understand. The moment you are writing it, Excel is absorbing it. The moment you press enter, Excel runs that formula straight, even if it doesn't have it exist as an existing function. If it is an existing function, if the formula you are writing is already an existing function, the moment you begin to write it, Excel will suggest and you will pick from the list. But if it is not an existing function that Excel has in place, Excel will just be waiting for you. Keep writing your formula. When you are done, let me know. It's waiting for you to hit enter key. The moment you hit enter key, it will run that calculation and give you a result. And if there is error in that formula you have written for which it doesn't have an equivalent function, it will also let you know that there's something wrong in your formula. Can you check it? But if you are lucky that what you are trying to write that time is a function or even a formula that has an equivalent function, the moment you start writing it, Excel will auto suggest. Then you can pick. It will ease your stuff. Don't worry. As time goes on, there are more formulas I will start calling up. Then you see more of Excel's also suggesting, and I will calling our attention to it. Can you see now? It's already giving me the condition I need to put. It's asking me I should fill in the gap now, because it is a function that Excel has. But if it is not a function it has, it will allow you to keep writing, expecting you to press enter and run it for you. So if you have written it correctly as a formula, it will give you the answer correctly. But if not, it will flag or show an error message that you need to correct one or two things. So that's exactly what happened in the other side. So this one now, I can split it again. Let's say I have clicked this and I want to break it down into text or into another column. I can say you can break that down for me. Then I pick data on my ribbon. I come here to do text to column. A dialog box comes out. Automatically, Excel has understood that there is a delimiter. A delimiter is a separator. In this case, the separator are all these signs you are seeing. Excel has seen that there are three different things, and separator is hyphen and comma. So it has already identified that and it's giving it to me here that there is a delimiter. I said, okay, that's fine. Yes, I can see it's a delimiter. Okay. So I said next. Then now I need to now specify to it at what point should you break this whole thing into smaller pieces. So if I choose hyphen, it can be deceived to pick the first hyphen here or the second hyphen. So I can just go ahead and say, okay, you know what you are going to do for me? Go ahead and break it down into two, but this time around, follow comma. Break it from where you see comma. Can you see? Let me undo. See this particular sample it has given to me here. The moment I click comma, it separated the whole thing into two following the comma. Can you see? So from where there is comma now, it has already separated it, meaning that it's going to split it into the next one, breaking it from where we have that comma. By the time you say next, you still have that, and you say finish, then you have it right here. So all the product size has now been broken to this side. Okay, no problem. Go ahead now. Let's see if we can do the next one, and that one is now having another. We are having double hyphen. Let's see what we can do with the double hyphen. if you are able to separate it, and you can now come here, also pick your data, pick text to column. Then yes, it has a delimiter. Good. Go ahead and specify the delimiter now. So we can say the delimiter should be. Do we want it to be the first hyphen or the second hyphen? Treat consecutive. So let's see. Semicolon, space, order. Let me pick order here and put hyphen. So you can see it has separated it into even more than three because of the hyphen, because a lot of them are containing hyphen. So let me remove comma. Yep. Remove tab, remove order. Okay. Let's see if it's going to give me still breaking into three because of that comma. So I can go ahead and just undo the other comma space that is there before and fill the other one for it. So it's going to over break it into more thing because I have used comma the other time, unless I remove it this way such that it is cleaner than what it was before. Yep. Yes. So I have it here now. This one is good. This was the original space it should be. So I can now select all of them, give it right space now. I can have it this way. This was the original fashion. So we do not have the hyphen repeating itself more than once. So it's easy now to either combine or break. So I can come here, come to this side. Come on.
So hold on. So why went back to the original data, the original raw data? Is that what you
Yeah.
did? Or you went to back?
Yes, when I undo, don't forget that I was the one that added the hyphen myself. The second
Yes, I
hyphen,
know. I know.
yes, I was the one that added it. That was why it's having hyphen twice, and
Okay.
he's now getting confused. He doesn't know
Okay.
which hyphen is to
To
separate,
pick
so he
next.
just go ahead and pick anything hyphen. And that's one thing about computer. Whatever instruction you don't want it to do, don't give it to it. So, and when you are giving it instruction, don't ensure that that particular thing is not duplicated, because it will take all of them. But I know that's what it's going to do. That's why I saw it that way. I just wanted to see if I can manipulate it by specifying which of the hyphen, but there is no provision in that dialog box. So it's going to
Mm,
skew my analysis. I have to go back to the
okay.
original data set. So I can now split it further now as it is. So I can pick it this way now. Then I pick my ribbon, data on my ribbon. Then I come back here and say text to column. Then by the time I pick hyphen now, it's going to just separate the product name away from the product color originally. So yep, delimited, take this, yep. Then then go ahead. I can say leave semicolon, pick order, then pick this. Okay. I don't pick order. I need you to use space now. Yes, this is what I want. Use space. Go ahead and do this. Yes, I want it that way. Then do this. Can you see now? So it has gone ahead to pick the color away from that column and push it into the available column that I specify, because what was separating the colors from the product name was just a space, and there is no other place in each of the cell that we have space. So it has gone ahead to separate it. So I can name this guy color, and I have the three of them now. Now I can now go back to your question that's okay, how do I combine, right? Which was what we wanted to do the other time. So in combining now, I just know that I have it in my head that okay, equal to, I want to combine this guy. So I will go ahead and write the name. The name is L2. What do I want to combine it with? I will say and. Then while you are combining, I want to introduce a delimiter, meaning I want to introduce a separator. So I say and I will now put that separator inside inverted comma, open and close inverted comma. So now I've said, okay, go ahead and pick L2. And so this, 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 then, and the next one, which is M2, if I leave it at this alone, it will merge L and M automatically without much ado. Can you see? It has matched L and M, which is mountain 200 and silver straight. So if I want it to include N, then I go ahead again, just like I did before. I'll come to the formula bar here and say, okay, how did I do before? After writing L2, I put and. I also introduce my hand again, then put a delimiter, just like I did also before. Open inverted, question mark. Yep, this. Then I put hand, and I put O2, O2. So if I press enter, I expect it to pick all of them. Sorry, it's not O2. It should be what letter? N2. That's to show you how accurate a computer can be. Can you see? Because of that alone, it couldn't run my formula. So now I have corrected it. So let me bring it to the middle for us to see very well. Then I can open it wider. Can you see? So it has picked M, it has picked L, M, and N. Three of them, mountain 200, silver 42, and merge all of them into O, mountain 200, silver, and 42. So because this comma is repeating itself too much, that was why I said, okay, let me change my comma also to, okay, maybe this time around I can use semicolon, right? Yeah. So just to make it a bit neater, and I can use any delimiter there, but any delimiter like we have seen earlier that will confuse the computer and make it to do beyond what we actually wanted and scatter the whole thing. You just have to put control in place such that that does not happen. So this is just the way to deal with the whole thing. So you can see how we can combine, and we can also see how we can split for analysis sake. Does that answer your question, please?
Yes, 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 yes.
Great, thank you. Um, what else can we pick now? I was on. Wow, we just have 5 minutes left. Sorry for those who are just joining. It's always a 60-minute session together, and it's a response to layer 2 of the workforce analytics adoption framework, which is talking about building capability for data skills for people who deal with data or who are managing people who produce data in one way or the other. So this is the session where we break down things very well for as many people as possible who are interested in building that skill. And it's been on for a while now. It's a 60-minute session, but sometimes we go beyond a bit just to make sure we respond to questions from people and all that. But it's always a 60 minutes interaction around data as it is. Though what we have marked for today, we have not exhausted. Let me check the curriculum guide. Okay, what have we done? We've done manipulating data, conditional formatting with numeric values. Okay. Yes, conditional formatting with average values and conditional formatting of text values. Okay. We can quickly run through the rest, and I'll make sure we just finish that so that we only have calculations. After that, we will only have calculations to do and pivot table. Then we finish module 4. Then we move to module 5, which is using statistics in Excel. Let me see that. I think that should be. Yes. So in 4, that's 5 in 4. Yeah. Yes. So after this formatting and adjusting that we are doing, which is under 4.2, 4.3 is data calculation, and that is the use of some further advanced formula and function, which I was trying to tell Kumi the other time. So there I'll be able to write index and match formula, and they are always very complex. So I will show you how Excel will be auto suggesting. Those are functions. They are inbuilt with Excel. The moment you start the name, it will give you all the parameters involved. So you now have to be supplying it. So those are guide. But for some other thing, you may have some things you want to do as an analyst and you have formula for it. And Excel does not necessarily have an equivalent function. It doesn't mean Excel cannot calculate it. There is no mathematics I have not seen that this guy cannot calculate. Just write it in his own language. It will deal with it. That's how very, very efficient Excel is. And that is the reason we are going through it for, because it is the backbone for every other data analytics tools. So by the time we get to other ones, you now see, we did this in Excel. We did that is it. It's because a lot of people have access to Excel. So when we quickly pick Excel stuff, you can go back to your computer and put it in practice, deal with it. So before we start going into advanced tool and having to download applications, which may require some guide for some people to do, but all of us, a lot of people use Microsoft's tools, so you can easily access Excel and put all of these into practice. So let me quickly see if we can finish these two. We should actually. Then yep. So we will be able to, yes, conditional formatting with numeric. We've done that. So let's do average and text. Okay. Which of my file can I use? Let me see what is here. So I said earlier you can remove this guy. Okay, that's a long way. It's manual. You don't. If I want to select all of them, Control Shift right arrow, pick all of them. Control Shift down arrow, pick them down. Everything is selected. So what do I want to do here? I know that the currency sign here will skew my calculation, so I want to boycott it. I can return it back anytime I want it. So it's not an issue. So I can do this. Then everywhere you see it, find it for me. Okay, have you replaced it before? Okay, that's fine. Maybe it's been replaced before. Then I can say Control Y, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. So I can use this first one, go to homes, go to this. Yes, do that. Yep, yep. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I want you to do. So I've selected the column I want to deal with. Then I want to go here. What do I want to do? I want to pick average, right? It's on this second one. Yep. I want to conditionally format the average of this column. So you can see the process I follow. Conditional formatting, top, bottom rows, only identify or color cells in this column whose values are above average. It will go ahead and do it straight away. Can you see? And I can just press OK for formality's sake. So by default, Excel has this light red field that it uses to identify whatever you want it to format conditionally, except if you go ahead and specify the color, and it has room for that. You can choose other formatting indicators right here, but default for Excel is this. And by the time you say OK, it does this for you, which is fine. But what I want to do, that is the average. and it has gone ahead to pick all of these figures that are above average. I said it should highlight all cell values whose values actually are above average, and it has picked this. But how do I know, or how do I ascertain in my mind that it has done correct thing? Which uh, more than 90%, you should be sure that the computer is doing the correct thing or an application is doing the correct. But just to be over 100% sure, so what do you do? I can say, let me undo this, right? Then I find average for the whole of this. I can quickly do this if the data set is not many to get my average. Can you see? I just highlighted all of it. Automatically, Excel will show me average close to your tax bar. This place where I'm flipping my cursor, you can show it has shown to me that I have highlighted 88 cells. The count is 88, and the average of them is 4,000 plus. And I have used conditional formatting to tell it that, okay, highlight cells whose values are greater than the average value. So I'm seeing right here that, okay, it's giving me 4,000 plus. Let me do use calculation to find it out, just like we did in the previous section too. I can just say equals to find average for me for this place. I open this and I tell you that from U2, because I'm in column U, from U2 down to U 89, yes, U89, give me the average, and it will go ahead and give me straight away. Can you see? So by calculation, I got the average. Should I use this correctly? Just the same way it has highlighted for me before. So you can see the application is so super accurate. It's almost impossible, almost impossible for some error. If there's any error in what you are doing or whatever, just check. It's probably the instruction you have passed to it. Now the average value for this column is 4,100. Okay, and I want to go ahead and issue that conditional formatting instruction. So I just come here, Control Shift arrow down, select all of that. Okay, yeah, for me, so that it will not skew the whole thing. So I go ahead, pick here. I want average. Every number that is above average is what I want you to pick for me. Can you see now? So we can compare it. We have an idea of what the average is now. It's 4,100, and the instruction is that highlight as many entries as possible whose values are more than 4,100. So I can glance through and check. Okay, all the ones highlighted, they must be more than 4,100. If not, then there is error somewhere. It necessarily won't be from the computer. It must be from what I have done, or maybe there is a formatting right inside the data sheet that I do not know of before. I need to check through just for checking. So you can see everything I highlighted here is obviously beyond or above in value than 4,100. And this is as simple as just clicking around, but clicking around is not simple anyway, is to know what to click. It will help a whole lot when you face data, and you cannot but face data in this world. In fact, data is like water everywhere now, looking for people to make sense out of it. So the worst you can eventually do is to now contract that out to somebody to be dealing with, and you will be at I mean you will be at the convenience of that person every day long, whereas it is something everybody can just figure out and get done if you can commit time to it. At this point, we are running beyond time already, but let me pick the last one, which is what now? Conditional formatting of text. Okay, where we have text values, how can we conditionally format them? Let me see this data set. Does it have something like that? Okay, yes, I can use this, and I can come here in this column called country, and I can say, okay, in this place, should I select the entire column or just the, I don't want the headers to be there, so I can come here and just as usual do this. Yep. Then I would now say go here and highlight test rule, then the text that contains, I'll pick this, then I will now specify. Highlight for me text that contains what other place? Okay, I have Germany here. Yep, I'll put Germany. Then I'll specify what color. Paint that Germany for me in green. Then I will say okay. So if you check through the column, you will see that it's highlighting out Germany for me. This how to do for text too. You say text that contains. So most of the time we use the feature text that contains for text, so that you go in there and search through the entire column you want to. You have given it as a range, and you have also specified what to look out for. In this case, I have specified Germany, and I said you should use green. So I just need to look around for the green. I know it is Germany. Look around for the green. I know it is Germany, and that's how we can just walk around here. I can go ahead and just come here and I say filter this guy for me, such that I can filter the entire data sets along with Germany. I can undo this and just pick Germany here and just say okay. Then I have only entries for Germany. The other ones have been put behind or have been put into the subconscious mind of this data set. The only one in the conscious mind of this data set is Germany, and I can drill down and drill down and drill down as much as possible, depending on what I'm looking for, and it will keep speaking to me, giving me information. So, in the whole of data set, and I can tell you this is the average of the sales of bikes that come from Germany. I'll just add up the revenue, just add up the cost. I can just put my formula here, do average for all of them, and to bring out the average for me. So, average of Q. Now this case now is doing Q13 to Q83. Okay, let's see. Q13 to Q83. So for those who are just joining today, we have all the sections we have done recorded, and they are all on the YouTube channel for Talent Basket. You can do well to take them at your leisure and figure them out. And they are all self-explanatory as this, where questions were asked and all sorts of things like that. So on this point, we will need to draw the curtain, but we'll give room for question if there is any before we do that. Question, please. Yes, sir. Oluwaseyi, please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to ask, there is access to the data that you're using for this class, so that afterwards we have access to the data so that we can actually practice it and make it our own, like to be sure we actually know how to make use of those things that we have learned here. So just access to the data that I'm asking for, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. There is access to the data. I share that. Let me see. I shared that in the last session. Let me see if I can lay my hand on. There is a link I shared that contains. There was a link I shared that contains that can link you up to the good. It can take you up to the drive where the data is. So I think you can have this one. You can have this one. This takes you to the drive, and inside that drive, all the data we've been using so far are in that folder. So you can just pick this particular one for the exercise, and it's right there. I'm dropping it on this chart now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. That's the link to the drive right on the chat. So please confirm you can access it, because I noticed last session
Okay.
there are some information on the chat too that was probably not accessible by some people. Can you see the link on the chat too?
Okay, I'm trying to access it now. Okay, it's there. I've seen it. It's
Good,
accessible, sir.
good,
Thank you,
good,
sir.
great. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Yeah, any other question, please? Okay, in the absence of no other question, I want to appreciate everybody for taking out
Sorry,
time.
1 minute. One
One
minute.
more,
I don't know,
okay.
maybe there's something I'm doing that I can't access. I'm not seeing the chat. The chat is blank on my own. So
Yeah,
I'll
so
just
that's
click on the
exactly why I asked
icon.
him now. Please, Shay, can you check again? Click on that link on the chat. Does it lead you to anywhere?
No, no, what I mean is that
No, I know. I want the other guy that said he saw it. I want him to even click it. Let's even be sure he's leading him somewhere. Does it? Sorry, who else can see what is in the chat box of this call? Can anybody, any other person access the chat box? But that's a bit strange to me that Kumi, you couldn't see it at all, right?
no, there's nothing on the chat here. Shebi, it's just for me to click that chat that is next to people. Oh,
Exactly. That is after, I mean, yes, that is even that
before
is before
people.
people, yes.
Yes, when I clicked it, it's empty. It's empty. It's just telling me to, I should enter to.
Sorry, please, can somebody else check this chat box, please? What's going on this chat box? Or is there um anything I need to activate?
Mm. Please, somebody should respond so we know if it's mine.
Yeah.
The person that said he
Okay,
saw it.
sir. I'm seeing an information here. It says some people in this church are part of an organization. Due to policy, you might not be able to see everyone's personal info. So I don't know whether that is having an effect
No,
on them
not
being able to
everyone
see the
stop.
church
The
or
one
not.
I just dropped now, the link I just dropped now, can you access that link?
Well, I clicked on the link. It took me to LinkedIn. It took me to your publication on LinkedIn. I could see the dashboard there. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, it took you to LinkedIn. Okay, maybe there are two of them. Let me repaste the one that should take you to Google Drive. Sorry, sir. I just drop another one now,
Okay.
and that should take you to Google Drive. So the first one was a
Okay.
combination of two links. Actually, I can
Okay.
see it now.
Okay. This one took me to Google Drive. Yes.
Yes, sir. So on that Google Drive, in that folder exactly, we have the data set, Excel files, which contains the data I've been using for practice.
Okay.
So good. So it means somebody can access it. Then it means probably we should check our settings. Other people, can we check our settings
Okay. So
on?
I can see there are four of them: cleaning
Yes,
sample
sir. Yes,
one,
sir.
two, sample
Yes,
data,
sir. Yes.
and the bike sales is the first one on.
Exactly. Exactly.
Settings. Where's this? The settings is where you see the background, turn off incoming, put me on hold, live caption.
So Abiodun, can you also see it? Because I think you two couldn't see it last week, but I can see. Okay, Abiodun has also confirmed it took him to Google Drive. Can you also see the Excel file in that Google Drive folder? Because I deliberately created that folder for the purpose of dropping the data set for each of our practice, such that I can easily drop the Google Drive link for people to access the data. So, are you using did you download Teams on your phone, or you have MS accounts? already, Microsoft account that actually gives you access to the meeting. So it could be the version of
No, I have
the
Teams on my phone. I have
you
Teams.
downloaded it, right?
Yes, it's on my phone. Yes. I
Maybe we
don't
can look
know.
at another thing that could be responsible for not seeing the chat. Do you have a signed?
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
Probably they can update their teams because I'm using the latest one, so I'm not having that issue. If they update it, some
Uh,
of them might not have this issue
Oh,
also.
okay. Can you
Yes.
access it now, Sheyi? You can see the Google Drive now.
I don't have any issue at all. I can see it.
Okay, fine. That's fine. Okay, Kumi, do you want to share your screen? Maybe we can check together with you if you don't mind. But if you do, then we
okay.
can
So
both
how
do
do
that.
I? How do I? I go to share, right?
Yes. So let me
Share screen, Abby.
let me stop sharing, right?
Okay.
Then you can start sharing now.
Share screen with audio, right?
It should just give you a single share screen actually, but you can share your screen with
Yes.
both. Let's see. Okay, you are sharing now. Yeah, we can see
Okay.
your screen.
Okay. So if this is it, then I go to charts. This is my chart here. Is empty.
Go back again.
But okay. This is
Where
these three dots here. That's what I'll type, right? Click on.
where is the three dots? Are you touching it?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is all the things it brought out. So I just click on the charts. Do I
Okay.
need to?
Pick that chart again.
This is it, empty.
Wow. There may be something else then.
Maybe it's updates. I don't know.
You can
I
try and
just
update that Teams app also. And myself and you we can have a call and I will send you another link. Then I will
well,
drop
maybe
so
we'll
that we can
check it.
exchange chats on Teams. I will be able to
Okay.
see if you're able to see that chat.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just go ahead and update the Teams app. Then we will do that either tonight or any other time you are free to do so.
No, no problem.
All right,
Okay.
everyone.
So
In the absence of no other question, I would like
have
to
I stopped
appreciate.
sharing?
Yes,
Or I
please.
shouldn't?
I think you've already stopped sharing.
Okay.
So, in the absence of no other question, we will call it a session
Okay.
today
Yeah.
and reconvene next Sunday for the next um, discussion. Thank you once again for your time. Go ahead and put into practice what we've discussed, and we'll meet again next Sunday. Have a wonderful
All right.
week ahead, and bye
You
for now.
too. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye. All right, sir.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.